Hello and welcome. My name is Jody Jordan and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is my April 25th, 2025 card class called Attention Shoppers. We're going to use this stamp set and this die set, and then we're using the paper called Everyday Happiness. And this paper only has 3 different sheets. It's 3 with double design. So we have this with this on the back, and then the flowers and that, and then this with like, I don't know, like a watercolored kind of look. So let's get started with card 1. Okay, so I've already done the majority of everything already. You can take your pick of how you want this to go. You can have it open this way, or I'm going to have it open this way. If you want it to go this way, you can choose from this side, which I don't really care for the wild wheat. So I'm flipping it over and I'm doing this side, and I'm going to turn it this way. So we're going to glue this down. Before we do that, I just want to tell you this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 4 1/4 by 9, scored at 3 and 6. Okay, so we're going to glue this down. I don't know if you guys remember, but this is exactly the same measurements as it was when we made the cow card a while back. The exact same card, except for this time I'm going to turn it this way. So it will go like open like this instead of like that. Okay, now let's do some decorating on here. The first thing I want to do is I want to pull this, and I'm going to use my Misty because I want to make sure I get it in the same spot every time because I want it to get darker. But I'm making mine a gift card, so I'm going to take this 1 3/4 punch and just line it up to take a little nick out of the top. Then I'm going to put it down in here, and I'm going to grab, let's see what I do with this. Oh, here it is. I'm going to grab this stamp that says Treat Yourself, and I'm going to lay it pretty much in the middle, because this is going to be what covers, or this is where the gift card is going to go. Or it could say Just For You, whatever you want it to say. Okay, let me close this. Every time, always make sure this is down in the corner. And then I'm going to grab the gray granite ink. And stamp. And I'm going to do this a couple times to make it stand out and look darker. One more time. Okay, now I've already stamped in gray granite one of the packages in this print and one of the packages in this print, and then I've already stamped and die cut one of the packages in the white. Okay, set that to the side. We're going to, so I've already die cut these. So this, we are going to cut this out. I'm only cutting the bag. It doesn't matter. You can cut off these handles because you're not going to need them. Just cut straight across. So you're going to be left with this. See the two triangles? I'm just going to cut those out. We're going to do a technique called, I think they call this piecing, or we're going to make the bag have the design on it, but we're going to have the tissue paper still be white, and then we're going to color our handle. We're going to do that for this print and for this one, same thing. So see, I just cut those notches out, cut the square. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Again, just cutting that triangle out of there. Now you could die cut this if you wanted and then chop off all this stuff. But honestly, especially in our class, this, die cutting always takes a long time because there's so many of us. This is so easy to fussy cut if you want to save your time. Okay, so let me get all this out of here. So now I'm just going to glue these to the bags. Well, first I want to color it. Hang on, let me color the handle. You can do this whatever color you want. I'm just using the gray granite. All right, so now we're just going to glue these on the bags. There's still going to be a little white border around from when you die cut, and that's okay. I'm making my card, happy birthday. So this is important for you to know. You want the card to open, like you want the, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter kind of because I want my gift card to be hidden here. And then I want this to be where I can write, and then this will be our front panel. So this way. So our front panel is going to be right here, and I'm going to stamp in Lost Lagoon, happy birthday. You can do this at the top, you can do it at the bottom, whatever you choose to do. Okay. So now you're going to die cut from the Stylish Shapes. I die cut this circle right here with the lines. You can do whatever you want in class. You can do the one with the flowers or whatever one you want to do. I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here on the packages. Okay, so now your circle, I'm just going to kind of give these a little arch like this. It doesn't matter if part of the bag is sticking out of the circle, it's fine. Then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of here. I'm going to stick this on the front of the bag. Now for this is going to go here. I prefer to use tear and tape. You can still use glue, whatever you want. I just prefer to use tear and tape for this. Now, there's two ways that you can stop your gift card because this is going to be just a little bit big. You can make your circle come down farther. Here's a card that I have. You can make your circle come down further, which I might do that. I think this is a little short. But you can also, I want it to be kind of like this, so where the card sticks out of the top. So I put a card here, and you can use anything. You can use your driver's license, whatever you need. It's all the same size. And I just put like a little tape here at the bottom, and this is going to make a stopper. So it won't go down any further. But in class, there won't be any gift cards, so you can bring one, or you can, when we're in class, you can actually just use your driver's license or any kind of card, a business card, whatever. They're all the same size, pretty much. Or you can wait to glue it down when you get home. Okay, there's a little bit of a border going around. The tear and tape is really, really sticky. That's why I like using it for this kind of project. So then when you put your gift card down in there, it'll be kind of a tight fit, but once you pull it in and out a couple times, it's not that bad. And then I just kind of go around with my fingernail and mark this. You don't have to, but I don't know why I like the way it looks. But then we're going to take this and fold this up. We're going to bring this piece back in, and we're going to put glue on the back. And then we're going to put it right in the middle. And you just want to hold it there until it's dry. Put a little bit too much glue on there, but it's okay. All right, and then we're going to bring out our Faceted Gem Trio Pack. And I'm going to use these darker ones. And that's card 1. Now, if you wanted, you can write right here, or if you wanted to do some other stamping, you could. You can always write on the back, whatever you want, but that is our card 1. If you're interested in taking my monthly class, I offer it in person in Lakeland, Florida, or I also offer it to go. In the description below my video, just subscribe to my email list and you will get the notifications for the registrations each month. All right, so for card 2, we have a Lost Lagoon, and I'm just going to make my regular card base. For this class, we always do 2 of the same card, so I'm just scoring this at 4 1/4. I like to use my scoreboard to do that, just to get it like started out. I feel like it gives a more accurate line, I guess. I don't know. And then, of course, we're going to cut at 5 1/2. And that just makes our regular card base. It just makes 2 at one time. And then we're going to get our designer series paper. I am using this sheet. We're going to cut at let's see, 4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and cut 2. Okay. And then for my okay, and then I'm going to pick another design in here that I thought, let's see if I can find it. I'm going to do this one. I can't decide if I like this or if I like this. I think I really like this, but each card would get, let me see, this goes, we're going to use one on the other side. Let's see, 4, I did it 4 by 7. We're going to try it this way. We're going to cut this at 4. Well, first I'm going to cut it at the 7 because, so cut your paper at 7. I don't want to confuse everybody. And then this you can use for whatever else, but you're going to cut 2 at 4, well, 1 at 4 for one card, 2 at 4 if you're making 2 like me. Okay, so this is going to be your pleated piece. I can't decide. I really don't know what it's going to look like because I haven't done this, but I really wanted to see if we could get that kind of different colors moving. So I'm going to try with this side. If it doesn't, we can always flip it over. Okay, let me get my notes so I can make sure that we are scoring it the right numbers. Okay, so we're going to do a half. 1 inch, 2 inches, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 5.5, and 6.5. Okay, we're going to cut at 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so for now, for our piece, we're going to do mountain. So that is your mountain, then valley. And before we get into all that, just remember we're doing 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, inch, 1/2 inch, inch, 1/2 inch, inch, 1/2 inch, inch, 1/2 inch. Just so you kind of like when you're doing your score, you remember that. But we're going to start with our mountain, then our valley, then our mountain and valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, and then a mountain. And so it's going to come together. Your pleats are going to come together like that. But you don't want to smash it down too much because we're going to put dimensionals. And when you're putting your dimensionals, you want to keep the flat side. You want the point, like this point, to go up and the flat sides to be on your cardstock, like this. So you're going to skip this one and this, all the ones that go next to the 1 inch. So you're going to put like that. Just like that. And that's going to come over like that. And I'm just going to keep going. So I'm actually going to lay this out a little bit flat. Okay, so now we're going to get that out of the way and remove all of our backing. And then you don't want to really smash it down. You want to just kind of push it over. And then this one's going to tuck in the back. Like that. Okay, so now we have this. So we have this kind of this piece that's flapping here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it over and we're going to put our dimensionals, and remember to put the flat side or the pointy side up. And remove. And then we have this side that's kind of flapping. We're going to do the same thing for that side. Okay, so now we're going to flip this over, and you can see it's not staying down, but that's okay, it will. So we have this piece that we just cut. It's basically just going to be something that we're hiding, so this won't do this and we can get it straight. So I'm using the Stampin' Seal Plus. I know a lot of you use the glue. It's fine. You can use, what do they call this? You can use this kind of tape if you want. I think the glue is going to be a little bit harder to use, but I know a lot of you in class use the glue. So this is just going to keep it a little bit, make it a little bit easier. And when you're doing this, you want to run it down and not go this way because it'll end up catching. And we're just going to glue this down to this white piece. And square it up as best you can. Now, if you have overage, you can just cut that off. Okay, so there. And then you're gonna bring in this panel, and you can now use your glue if you want, or whatever you want to continue. I'm just gonna use the Stampin' Seal because it's here. Okay. And then this makes it a lot easier to center on this piece. Okay, now for our card base, we can glue that down. I'm going to try and glue it, but I haven't used my glue in a while, so it may, before you glue that, you want to glue your panel down. I must have cut this wrong. Let me see. Okay, I did cut this wrong. It's supposed to be 4 by 5 and a quarter. I think I cut it 4.5. 5.5, I'm sorry. So 4 by 5 and a quarter. Thankfully it was too long and not too short because it makes it easy. For your kit, it'll be cut right. Okay, so now let's glue this down. And then we will glue this down. I'm going to glue this flat since we have so much dimension going on already. I'm going to go ahead and glue this flat. And then we have our 4 by 5 1/4 inside panel that we can glue in. Okay, so now we just have to decorate. Okay, sorry about that. I bumped the camera. It's only towards the end, so I'm not going to redo that section. It's not that bad, but okay, so this is what it's the same piece of paper. It's just you have to decide whether you like this look or you like this look, or you could do like I did and do one of each. You just have to flip your paper and start your valley on whatever side you want. You have to start your mountain, on the one that has the 2 1/2 inch on the left side, or it should be on the left side when you start. So this is what it's the same paper, it's just flipped over, what it looks like. You can decide, like I said, which one you want. It's the same thing. I wasn't sure which one I like, and honestly, I still can't decide which one I like best. So I am going to continue on with doing the two different ones. I'm going to make 4 cards this week since the class is so big, and I'm just going to do 2 of each one. So you have to decide which one you like best, and I'll explain that in class when we get there tomorrow. Okay, so put that to the side, and then we're going to grab just a couple of scrap pieces. I'm just working this from another card I had made. I'm going to stamp Just For You, which I'm going to use the Just For You, and then I'm going to use the cake. You could use the flowers if you wanted. You can use the plant if you want. You could even use the bag. Anything that will fit in your circle, you can use. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the cake because I don't like the color. So you can use, again, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use the cake, and I'm going to use the Just For You. I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon for the Just For You. And on your sheet, you should be able to stamp that 2 times for your 2 cards. And then I'm using the 1 3/4 punch. You can use circle dies if you want. Whatever you want to use, you can use. Let me put this up. And then I'm going to use gray granite to stamp the cake. And I'm going to keep this as simple as I possibly can, just because I don't like to color. Some of you are just the best colors in class. I am not. I'm going to use, I don't have this color in the regular markers, so I'm just using a Stampin' Up marker, It is a very small space, so, you know, you won't have to worry about it bleeding or any of that. And it will dry just a bit lighter. If you wanted to use orange or red, you could. I'm just keeping the same colors that are in my the color scheme of our paper here. And I'm keeping it real simple, guys. I'm just going to color this little bit of sprinkle part section here blue to match our paper. Again, you could color this whatever you want. You can take as much time as you want. In my opinion, I think the paper is the star of the show for this one. But, you know, we want to put something else on there besides just the folded paper. Again, I'm going to use the 1 3/4 punch, and it barely fits, so you have to turn it a little bit to get it to fit. And then in your kit, you're going to have a 2-inch punch. This is a 2-inch punch. And I'm keeping everything completely flat because we have so much dimension already. I'm just gluing this, and my glue is starting to get clogged up. Glue that down. Again, you could use any dies that you have, circle dies. You could even use squares if you wanted. I mean, you can use whatever you have at home. For me, I'm using the punches because it's quickest, since I have to cut like 28 of these or something like that. Now, I tried to use dimensionals on the edges, and it made it kind of sink down, and I didn't like that look. So my suggestion is to just use glue and pick where you want to put it and just hold it on the section that, hold it and let it dry for a minute. This, I'm using the quick dry glue, so I get this from Michael's if you're wondering. And then just put this one about the same. Hold it. And then let me see. Oh, I got lucky. I didn't have to dig for my gems. This time we're using the Faceted Gem Trio Pack. They're so pretty. They are very thick. So since they're very thick, I'm going to put them down here so when I mail them, they don't try to charge me more. Oh. And that is our card. Let's see, where's the other one? I don't even know what I did with it. Let me see if I can. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I need to put some gems on here. I'm going to use silver ones on this one. So two, we basically used just different papers and created a different look. But I really like this card. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so for card 3, we're going to do the same thing as the last. For the card base, we're going to score at 4 1/4. can cut at 5.5. To get our 2 card bases. We're going to cut a 4 by 5 1/4 to go on the inside of both those cards. Okay, so now we're going to cut a piece of your designer series paper at 4 by 5 1/4. In your kit, you're going to receive this piece, and you're going to die cut it with this. You can use either one, the flower or this one for the right size. I've already got mine done, and I used a piece of 4x4 basic white, and then in your kit you're going to receive this is 2 3/4 by 2, and you're just going to cut out your shopping basket, and then we're going to also pick out what you want to stamp. I'm going to do this little shopping basket or shopping bag and a flower is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to pull out the little wheels and my shopping bag. You could also use a bottle if you wanted. Whatever's in this kit, you can feel free to stamp and die cut that out on some scrap paper. So let me grab my blocks. Okay, get this out of the way here. I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. And the first thing I want to do is cut out or stamp my flower in my bag. And I am going to do, let's see, I'm going to do my little flower pot in, let me grab, this is just a scrap because I've not used this stamp yet. I like to stamp it several times just to get it going and get it primed up pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my plant in the gray granite. And my shopping bag, I am going to do that in the Lost Lagoon. Okay. Now, for this, I wonder if I have enough. You know what? I'm going to change this. Hold fast. I think I have enough scraps. I think I have enough scraps of this. And I'm going to stamp my bag with the Lost Lagoon. But I'm going to pick, so I don't have to do any coloring. See how this is white up here? I'm going to just stamp like that. And that gives the tissue a little bit of a texture. And I'm still going to bring in my markers and color my bag a little bit, but not much. That's the dark. Okay, so I'm going to come in and color this side right here, maybe this corner a little bit with the dark, and then come in with the light. Now you can leave it how it was. You can color it with your pencils, markers, whatever you have. You can watercolor it if you want. Watercoloring would look really cool because I always love watercoloring. I love the look of watercoloring. Now you wouldn't be able to saturate it too much because this is pretty thin paper, but I am going to come in with let's see, do I have? I do. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the gray granite marker or Stampin' Up marker and just color the handle. Okay, now this is ready to be die cut. And then for my plant, I'm going to use, let's see, which one is dark? This is dark. I'm going to color this part darker. With the Lost Lagoon. This is one of my favorite colors because I love blue, but this can also be used, this color is easily used as a green. Okay. And then for this pot, I'm going to just color the top and the bottom and leave like a white stripe. You can color the whole thing if you want, whatever you choose. Okay, so now I'm going to die cut these from this. Let's see, we got the bag and the plant. I'm going to die cut that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to bring this in. We have, you have already die cut your little cart. You're going to figure out how you want to lay this out in your buggy. kind of get a little idea. I'm going to pull the gray granite. And let me get this going again with my scrap because I've not used this stamp. And it's okay if your things are out of the circle. It's just the circle is kind of like your guide. I'm going to try and have these wheels just barely touch. Okay. And then I'm going to figure out how I want these on here, and I'm going to glue these. I'm actually going to okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to glue this down. Let me close my ink because I know I'm going to stick my fingers in it. All right, so I'm going to leave this and glue this one first. And I'm just going to glue it flat down. Same thing with this. I'm going to just glue it flat down. Double check. I think that's good. Okay, now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, you can pick whatever you want. I'm going to pick shopping is always a good idea. Or, I think I'm going to put, happy. No. I think I'm going to put, what do I want to put? I think I'm going to put, I want it to be a big thing. So I'm going to do shopping is always a good idea. And I'm going to do that in the Lost Lagoon. I'm going to get my scratch piece out. Now this we're going to fussy cut. Or you could always do a little circle if you wanted, but I'm going to fussy cut it. Oh, it's already here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to bring that back. And this is going here, right? So we're going to just put glue on the back of here. And I'm going to pick this up and allow it to glue down. Now, if you have the silicone mat, you can push it down and not worry about it getting stuck. Okay, now I'm going to take dimensionals and I'm going to put them only on this part where I fuzzy cut, so it'll be hidden to where you won't see it when it pops up. Okay, so let me grab my dimensionals. Pull those off. And then you're going to line this up so everything fits inside your basket and so it is touching the wheels there. And so now you can, it's got dimension, but yet it's popped up. And it doesn't matter if you're shopping, if your words are straight or if they're crooked, it really doesn't matter because it's still going to be cute. Okay, so now we're going to bring in this piece and our card base. We're going to glue that down. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this up. And put it here. And then we have the inside. And then you can put whatever sentiment you want to put on the inside. I more than likely, what I will do is I will put, since it says shopping is always a good idea, I will probably put a gift card in here and then put maybe treat yourself, happy birthday, or whatever I'm using this for. So I know a lot of you don't use your cards for tradition, like always for what the sentiments say. So if you choose not to put this on there, that's fine as well. Whatever you want to do is fine. But that is our card 3. Hope you enjoyed it. It wouldn't be me if I didn't forget the gems. I think since I haven't used them, I'm going to use the light gray ones this time. I'm still going to continue to put it down here versus up here, or you could because this is raised up, but so it ships a little flatter because these are pretty thick and they are very big. So that is the card. Hope you enjoy that. Okay, so I wanted to just show you what each one of the sentiments look like. And also, I went ahead and instead of coloring this bag, I just left it how it looked. I did color the handle, and that was it on all of these. So see, this is the one that I colored. These are the ones, and I changed the ink from the Lost Lagoon to the gray granite. But this is the Just For You, Happy Birthday, Treat Yourself, Shopping is Always a Good Idea. You can totally put whatever you want. You can leave it blank. I even, after I was doing this, thought you can move it down here, but then you wouldn't be able to, you would have to glue this flat because you wouldn't be able to hide your dimensionals. It would have to be glued flat. But these are all the different ways that I did what each sentiment looks fuzzy cut out. So, and then of course I put the gems on there. So I just wanted to show you what each one looks like. These are the ones that'll be in class for you to decide, or you can take it home and put whatever sentiment you want on there that you have and figure that out.